Reset Podcast. And now your host, Jake Naraki.
What is up, Reset Nation? Thank you, like always, for joining me on the Operation Self-Reset podcast. We are here to rewire your mindset to upgrade your life. That is right. That's my new tagline for this week. You know what, taglines, they come and they go. Change is good. But today, though, we're not talking about change. We're actually trying to dial in our focus. And we're talking about goals and goal settings and why do you need goals in the first place. But before we dive into that, like always, I have a great quote. This is from James Hill. He is from Kentucky. And the quote goes like this. Let me get it in front of me. That's not the right one. Here we go. To find the exact answer, one must first ask the exact question. That is from Tobin Webster. And James, first off, thank you for providing that quote to set this podcast off. If you guys have a quote that you enjoy, you like, and if you'd like to hear it on the Operation Self-Reset podcast, send it over to ask@osreset.com. So today, like I said, we don't have a guest. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm actually talking into my microphone. That's talking into the computer, which will be talking and hearing into your ears. And it's all about goal setting. But before we dive into that, I want to talk to you guys about the survey. And I know I'm bombarding you with this survey, but the reason why I need this survey from you guys is because I need to get the best people on this podcast to help you out. The whole reason I'm doing this podcast and the blog and videos is not because of me. It's because of helping you. And truly, I want to give them more than I'm receiving. And along this journey that I am on currently, I am gaining benefit from it. The emails that you guys send me are very powerful and inspiring, and you guys have gone through some stuff, I tell you what, in your own life, and I appreciate you guys opening up and really pouring out your heart and soul. And if you have a question that you want answered, send it over to ask@osreset.com, and I'll try to email it. Honestly, I'm getting like 75 to 80 emails a day. I am behind, okay? And I'm sorry if I'm not able to get to every single one of your emails, but I actually just got a virtual assistant to help me out and in preparing to answer these questions in bulk. And I'm just trying to do my best. You know, I'm one man with a plan, and I'm just trying to do the best I can. But it's not about me today. So getting back on topic here about the survey. So the reason why I need it is because I want to understand you. I want to understand what are your problems? What have you tried? What works? What doesn't work? Not only to find out your pains and sorrows, but to see if you have something that you have tried before that could help somebody else on this podcast, that maybe somebody else is listening right now and they're kind of confused and they don't know where to start. Maybe there's that one tip, that one book, that one idea that I have not learned yet that I could share to the audience. And that's why I would like you guys to fill out the survey. Not only does the information that you guys provide in the survey is going to help myself, better podcasts and all of that stuff, but also too, you will be receiving and or entering into a drawing. I'm going to be giving away 8 prizes. The 8 prizes are broken up into different categories, and I have 4 books from Brad's Raw Made Easy. I had Brad Gruno on the podcast early on. He talked about raw eating and he talked about his struggles and the business that was worth millions of dollars. And he kind of went down the tubes because of new technology. He was in a very bad place in his life and he stumbled upon eating raw. And I'm not saying that you need to eat raw. I'm saying this book has a lot of great value to it. It gives you a lot of ideas of how to eat healthy. And you don't have to go that crazy. You don't have to eat raw completely. Just some ideas, tips and tools and tricks. And I'm giving away 4 of these books. They're about a $15 value. I will be shipping them to your house absolutely free. I'm going to put them in an envelope. I'm going to go to the post office and I'm going to send it off to you. So there's no hassle and money exchange or anything like that. The next gift I'm going to be giving away is 2 Audible gift cards. Now, audible.com, if you guys have not heard of it, it is a website that has over 1 million plus probably audio books. And it's a great resource to learn as you go. If you're driving in the car, instead of listening to radio, you can listen to audio books and get inspired, learn a few different things, and so on and so forth. So I'm giving away 2 of those gift cards. Each gift card is around a $18 value. You can download 1 free book from audibletrial.com/OSR. You can get a free book there, and then I will be sending you a gift card for additional book. The third prize is I'm going to be giving away 2 $25 Visa gift cards. The value of the $25 Visa gift card is $25. I know, it's shocking. I had to do the math real quick. I'm sorry if it was a little bit of a stall there, but I'm going to be giving away 2 $25 gift cards. And the reasoning for that is because I really want you guys to fill out this survey. I won't be using your email for spam. I'm not going to be sending you guys some garbage or anything like that. Truly, I just want to hear your pains and your sorrows and the things that worked for you, so I'm able to adapt this podcast in a better direction. And the last gift, this is the grand prize. I mean, this is huge. You ready for this? A 15-minute Skype call with me. Yes. So if you really enjoy me, if you really like me or whatever, please, go to osreset.com//survey. Fill it out, and at the bottom, I'm just going to ask for your email address, and on May 1st, I'm going to do a drawing. I'm also going to be recording the drawing so you know it's legit and done the right way, non-scammy. It's not going to be smoke and mirrors. I'm just going to be giving the gifts to my friends or anything like that. This is going to be legit. So if you could head on over and do that survey, it would be greatly appreciated. Last survey that I did, which was early January, there was about 50 of you guys that filled it out, which was awesome. Majority of you are male. Majority of you are between the ages of 25 to about 42. And there's a lot of other details that I'd rather not share, but I just want to give you a kind of a grand aspect of who are the other listeners that are listening to this podcast. So now you know. So if you're wondering, well, now you know. So let's stop talking about the survey. So that's over and done with. But let's talk about yourself for a second. Today, we're going to be talking about goals, goal setting, why do we need it, and everything like that. Goals truly are very important in your life. And I think that when we are growing up, we all have goals. We all set them. Okay. For example, when you're younger, you realize, after high school, I'm going to have to go to college to get a degree, which will lead me into getting a good job, which will lead into a nice house, car, vacations, what have you. Okay. Those are your goals. Those are kind of stepping stone goals. Those are laid out in front of you and you proceeded down the process. Now, if you did not go to college and things of that sort, you kind of had a different mindset of goals. Maybe if you want to be a mechanic, an engineer of some sort, or just work at the family business. Maybe you didn't have to go to college, but you had somewhat of a goal early on. And for the third category of people that had no idea what they wanted, and they just kind of stumbled into things, and maybe currently they're bouncing from job to job, I think all 3 groups that I identified just now will benefit from what I am going to be telling you, okay? So let's dive into the concept of goals. Currently, there was a study released not too long ago that 97% of Americans, and I know this is not a worldwide study because I do have a broad audience that is listening to this, but I bet you it probably applies to wherever you live, Australia, the UK, what have you. So this study was kind of performed with a lot of other information in a big, broad survey that was sent out to a lot of Americans. And one of the questions was, do you set goals and or try to reach them? And 97% of the applicants to this survey, again, survey, if you want to do my survey, go to osreset.com/survey. Sorry, that was just a little plug there. 97% of the people that filled out the survey had no goals. They did not set up a goal. They didn't believe in goals. And it's kind of disappointing when you hear that number, 97%. Now, a majority of the people that filled out this survey were older. They were out of college. They were in the range of the late 20s to the late 50s, a very broad audience. And these individuals did not believe in goals. So let's talk about why people don't set goals and why maybe you don't set goals. Okay, there's 4 reasons. Off the top, we're going to go with number 1 is fear. Number 2 is a poor self-image. You don't really believe in yourself. The third reason is you really don't feel you need goals. You're doing fine as it is. Why the heck do I need to set goals up in my life? And the fourth reason is you don't know how. You don't know where to begin. Maybe you have set goals and they just didn't work out and you're like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to continue to live my day after day. And you know what, if there's something comes up, I'll try to reach for it. If not, no big deal. I'm not really going to take the time necessary to set goals up in my life. So I really want to take this time here in this podcast to sell you on the reason why you need goals. Okay, so let's go into the first reason why people don't set goals, and that's fear. And I want to break this mentality. I want to reset and upgrade your mindset here into believing that you need this. So the fear, let's dive into fear. And I have a podcast out already about fear, but I really want to talk to you about the reasons why you are scared of fear. And there's 3 broad categories. Number 1, you're scared of failure. Number 2, the fear of judgment from others. What are they going to think of you? How are you going to be able to act in front of them? If they find out about this big goal, are they going to be supportive or they're not? The judgment is a big issue. We all want to be liked. We all want to be popular. And judgment is a huge key to that. And the third reason why is success. And that sounds weird because if you think about it, what if you did start a company today and it was instantly worth billions of dollars? I think there's that company from an app. And it was sold to Facebook. I think it's like Text Up or something like that. And that app was produced no more than 11 months ago, and it was sold for around $1 billion. And that might be high, I can't remember, but it was well over 500 million and less than $1 billion. It was right in that category. 11 months. Can you believe that? You start something 11 months ago, and next thing you know, Facebook buys it for around $1 billion. Insane. That is absolutely insane. So success, you might think, oh man, that would be great. I want the money. But if you really think for a second, along with success comes a lot of responsibility. Along with success comes with a lot of heartache. What are you going to do with the money? Are you going to give it away to friends and family? They're going to start coming down on you. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to get an LLC. I'm going to have to start this corporation. I'm going to have to get all this paperwork. I'm going to start hiring all these people. Oh my gosh, it's overwhelming. You know what? I'm not going to do anything. So let's talk about, though, what you can do to break these 3 fears: the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of success. Number 1, the one question that you should take out a pen and paper and write out is, what if I do fail? Okay, what is the worst that's going to happen if I do fail? I mean, we're talking about doomsday. We're talking of like totally it's going to wipe out your life. I mean, think of the most hideous thing that could happen if you try to set this goal up, and what if you fail reaching it? Okay, that's question number 1. Question number 2, how will I recover from this failure? Okay, how will you recover from this failure? Think about that as you're writing it down. Talk to yourself. Okay, so what if I do lose all of my money? Does that mean that I'm going to lose my wife too? Am I going to lose my house, my car? Think of, how am I going to recover from that failure? If I do remove and lose those things, will I be able to get them back? Is my wife going to stay with me? Is she going to leave? I don't know. Talk about the recovery period. The third question, ask yourself, what if I do nothing at all? What if you continue down the path that you are currently on at this moment? What's going to happen? Well, not much, because you're already on that path. You know the path that's laid out in front of you, okay? And it might be good. It might feel good enough that, I don't really want to set that goal. I really don't want to head in that direction. I don't want that pain and the sorrow and the business and all that extra stuff. I kind of like just coming home, watching TV. What if you do nothing at all? Now, that might go 2 ways. You might feel, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, well, then that goal for you is not meant for you. It might be too small or too big. But what if you do nothing at all? Like, will you regret it? Are you going to think about it all the time? Are you going to think to yourself, man, I gave up on myself when I shouldn't have? Think about that. And the fourth question is, what if I succeed? What's going to happen when I succeed? If I reach this goal, is my life going to change? Am I going to, change locations? Am I going to finally be able to take my family on that vacation? Am I going to be finally able to feel confident in my decision making? Am I going to be able to finally feel successful as an individual? Am I going to be able to look at my kids and go, you know what, your dad, your mom, whoever you are, did something out of the box. They did something different to give you a better life. So the 3 failures, or the 3 things that we're worried about when it comes to fear, is fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of success. And if you're worried about those 3 things, ask yourself these 4 questions. What if I fail? How will I recover? What if I do nothing? And the 4th one, what if I succeed? They say, it's dangerous for a plane to sit on the runway because it's going to rust. It's actually better if that plane is meant for what it is worth. The plane is better off in the heavens. The plane is better off flying than it is sitting on the tarmac, just sitting there as a rust bucket. You buy a Porsche or a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, some exotic sports car, or even a Mazda sports car. It doesn't matter. And you just let it sit in your garage. and all you do is look at it. What good is that? Everything's going to seize up. The lubrication's going to settle. It's not going to, be running properly when you do finally decide to drive it. Goals are the exact same way. It's dangerous to set goals and not to reach them. But it's more dangerous not to set goals than it is to set them. Stay focused, dedicated, and disciplined when it comes to dialing in and focusing on your goals. Okay, let's dive into the second topic. Poor self-image. Before you can do before you can have. A big reasoning behind why people don't set goals because of a poor self-image is self-esteem. They don't feel that they're good enough. You know what? I want to lose the weight, but I don't feel confident in myself to go to the gym, to eat healthy, to believe in myself that I can lose the weight. For a second, to turn it back on myself, I am not a smart individual, okay? I have difficulty reading complicated words. I have difficulty pronouncing tough words. If you notice throughout all of my podcasts, I don't say anything really difficult. I stumble on a lot of words. And that's not because, I'm dyslexic or whatever. Maybe I am. I don't know. I have ADHD. I don't care. But I could blame myself and go, well, I can't start a podcast because I'm not good at pronouncing. I'm not good at saying the big words or the complex things or really able to explain what I'm thinking. I have difficulty at that. So I'm not going to do it. I want to, but I can't. That's poor self-image. Instead of thinking like that, start thinking on the positive side. You know what? I'm not the best talker, okay? You can probably hear it. I stumble, I mumble, I don't pronounce. All of these things, and I'm coming out to you truthful here. I'm not coming out to you and trying to relate to you in any way. I'm not really, I'm not really anything special, and I know that I could blame that. I could blame that as attribute against myself and go, you know what, you're not really that special, Jake. But you know what, though? I am. I'm a special guy. I have that internal belief that I am capable of achieving my goals, my dreams, my aspirations when it comes to life. And I know you are too. So get over that poor self-image that you have of yourself. If you don't like where you are in your life right now, change it. You want to lose some weight? Start losing weight. I know it's easier said than done, but you're capable of it. There's a million books out there. There's a million DVDs out there. There's a million websites and articles and things you can do. If you don't know where to start, just start by researching. Start by understanding how to start to lose some weight. Instead of eating your whole plate of food, start leaving a quarter of it on the plate. It's the little things that you can do to start setting yourself up for success. And the poor self-image needs to be removed. You've been listening to this podcast because you believe in yourself, or I'm trying to instill self-belief. I'm trying to build confidence. I'm trying to build belief within you. I'm trying to tell you that you are worthy of achieving anything in your life. And a lot of people that have emailed me go, Jake, you know what? It's great that you say we need to believe in ourselves, but I need more concepts. I need more stories. I need more tools and resources. And it kind of frustrates me because everything you need, you have. There is nothing that I am going to tell you or any other podcast that's out there that is going to give you that secret sauce. If there was, that person would be an idol. I mean, he would be an all-star, superstar, world famous, the biggest thing ever. But nobody has that secret sauce. If you start believing in yourself, that will lead to the next step. That's what I'm trying to instill in you. I'm not trying to give you that one resource, that one tip, that golden nugget that's just going to go, oh my God, I am now going to be a millionaire. This is it. I want to instill belief within you that you are capable of achieving $1 million. And from there, once you get that belief, you can start stepping in the right directions. If you create that mindset of, I can become a millionaire, or I can get out of debt, I can lose the weight, I can change careers, or I can become the best parent possible, I can become outgoing, I can become social. Once you start believing in yourself, those things, everything else will lay out in front of you. This is not a business podcast. This is not a get rich podcast. This isn't a lose weight in 48 hours podcast. This is a belief podcast. This is a resetting your mindset to upgrade your life. I'm sick and tired of people saying, you know what, I need more content. I need these stories of people who struggle. There's people struggling all the time. Instead of listening to me and wanting to get, ask me, find somebody else that's struggling, it'll really help me out. I am going to find those people because I find them interesting and we can learn a lot from them. But that doesn't mean that the stories are not out there already, that the stories are not, you're not able to get your hands on them. And also too, how many stories do you need to take action? I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make him drink. You guys probably heard that before. I can give you a million stories. I can tell you a million resources, a million tips, a million crazy ideas that may spark interest within you. But if you don't take that next step, that next action step, then what's the point? So we need to get rid of that poor self-image. Okay. The third step is you don't need goals. You don't feel like you need a goal in your life. You know what, Jake? I got 2 kids. I have my own business, or I work at a corporation. I drive decent cars. I have a decent house. We're not in debt. Things are going okay. Why do I need goals in my life? And that's a very valuable question. I was thinking about this. You know, it's one of those things that if you don't set goals for yourself, there's nothing to reach for. There's nothing to achieve for. And I hate to bring this up, but I'm going to say it. You know what? Having kids is an amazing process. Having kids is a beautiful process. You're able to instill great values, raise kids the right way. After your kids leave you at the age of 18 or 25 or 30, whatever it may be, or maybe they never leave, I don't know. What are you searching for in your own life? A lot of people, a lot of empty nesters feel like they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do next. You know, they have no plan. Yeah, they're going to go to their job. Yeah, they're going to hang out with friends. Yeah, they might go on vacation every once in a while. But if you don't have those long-range goals, if you don't have that idea of, I need to reach this, if it's something, you know, maybe to build something or to start being a better cook, if you don't have these goals set up, you're going to be a lost soul. You're just going to be a person walking around outside, not really having any passion, any desire, anything like that. You need to set goals in your life. And for the early people that are listening to this, that are young in their careers, young in their life, there has been a study out there that people that do not set goals, their average monthly salary, we're talking monthly. So if you get paid weekly or biweekly, it doesn't matter. We're talking about 30 days here. 1 month salary is around $3,400. Okay. People that have goals, that put goals into their life, that strive for that extra step, that strive for that promotion, strive for the ability to want more in life, their average salary is around $7,100. Okay, that's a huge jump. That is a very big jump, and you might not believe it, and it doesn't matter if you believe it or not, but the studies have proven that if you do set goals in your life, you will be able to achieve more. And it doesn't have to be financially driven, but I know a lot of people out there that are listening to this want more money. They're in debt. They need this. They need more money to, you know, buy happiness, you know, or they feel that it will buy them happiness. And I will be a preacher here for a second. Money will not buy you happiness. Money does not give you anything but more problems, more issues, more things in your life, more clutter, more garbage that is not fulfilling. And if you start to believe in that, if you start to believe that money is not an issue, you don't need money to be successful, it could change you up. You know, it could change your focus on why you really do need goals. Goals are there as stakes in your life to reach for. If I told you to climb Mount Everest is a very challenging hill. It actually is a mountain. But you know that if you start setting yourself up, you start training for it, and day by day you start reaching towards that goal, you can't climb that in one day. You need to go up and down that hill to adjust to the altitude, adjust to your blood separating and coming together with the oxygen, the lack of oxygen that is, as you ascend up the hill or the mountain. So that's why we need to have goals. And the last thing, why people do not set goals is that they don't know how. And I'm going to give you a breakdown of my personal story here for a second. So as you may or may not know, I work for the fire department. I am now a fire lieutenant. Before that, I was an HEO, a heavy equipment operator. I was a driver for the fire department. I realized early on when I got into the fire department, I always wanted to be a lieutenant. I actually want to be a captain, but I don't have enough time on the job to reach for captain yet. So I knew my first pinnacle was to become a fire lieutenant. I knew that early on. I knew that from day one. So I started to set myself up for success when it came to taking that exam. You know, I took extra classes. I went to college. I did extra weekend seminars. I did a lot of things to set myself up. I put a lot of feathers in my cap, and probably you have done too, either just to get the job that you're currently at or to get a promotion or what have you. So I started to identify my goal and I wrote it down. And that's the first step, is to identify your goal and to write it down. The second step is the number one benefit you will gain from reaching this goal. As for myself, the one benefit is I will reach my goal because I always wanted it. And second of all, I knew that it would give me a little more financial benefit. And also, too, it will allow me to become a better leader. I know the best way, and you probably heard this too, the best way to do anything in life is to get in there and just do it. I started this podcast on a whim. I had no background in it. I kind of knew how to set it up because I watched a lot of YouTube videos. But besides that, I have never broadcasted. I have never really spoke on a microphone before. I decided to do it. And if you have heard me from episode 1 to now, I have truly enhanced my voice. I've enhanced my personality. I've opened up a lot more. Before I didn't talk about the fire department. I didn't even tell you guys that I worked for the fire department or even if I was a lieutenant. And now I'm growing into the person that I am today because I started. I took action. I took that first step. And when it came to becoming a fire lieutenant, I started to write down the benefits of being a lieutenant, more confidence, desire, leadership, not only to myself, but to my family. Being in these awkward situations allowed me to grow as an individual. So the third thing is write down the major obstacles that you're going to encounter along the way. Well, the major obstacles was I didn't have my education when I become a to take the test for fire lieutenant, I needed to have education and I needed to have these extra credentials. Okay. I knew those were two obstacles. So the first thing I did was knock out my education. The second thing I did was knock out those extra credentials that I needed to put myself in a position to take the lieutenant's exam. It's the same goes with yourself. When you set up these goals, figure out, okay, what is the heartaches? What are the problems I'm going to encounter? What are the difficulties? Is it going to be time management? Is it going to be taking the kids to daycare so I can work on this? What is it to you? What are the obstacles that you need to overcome to get yourself in the best situation to reach that goal? Okay, now we're talking about skills and knowledge necessary to reach these goals. The skills and knowledge necessary to reach these goals. When it came to myself, I knew the skills that I needed was education. The skills also were the weekend seminars, the hands-on training, the certifications that I needed to take to get myself in that position. And the knowledge necessary, well, I had to learn about fire science. I had to go to school and get my associate's degree in fire science. So, if you start writing out the things that you need to pass and hurdle, you will start to have a clearer picture of your goals. Next, who to work with to reach these goals. Who do you need to surround yourself to reach these goals? When it came time to finally taking the lieutenant's exam, the only way to really prepare for this exam besides practicing on your own is to meet with other individuals. I knew that to do good in this exam, I need to find the best people possible, the best fire lieutenants and the fire captains possible and chiefs to help me grow when it came to presenting in front of a panel of raiders, to look at a house that was on fire and dissect it and to analyze it and to, think of the problems, the issues that I would concern or, have issues with. I sought out the best people possible. So when you are setting up your goal, think to yourself, who do I need to work with to reach this goal? It might be a life coach. It might be a friend. It might be somebody that's an entrepreneur. It might be somebody that owns a business. It might be a real estate owner. It might be a parent that you really enjoy. It might be somebody at your church that you believe is a good human being. It might be somebody that goes and donates their time to charities. Whatever it is, who do you want to work with to reach this goal? And the last key step for reaching goals is a completion date. If you do not have a completion date, this goal will go on forever. You will not feel the pressure to try to get through this goal. If you don't have that completion date at the end of a month, a year, 3 weeks, whatever it is for you, you have nothing to strive for. You have nothing to push for. You have no reason to set up this goal in the first place. If it's just to be healthy, well, that's going to go out the window, to be honest with you. If it's saying that I want to lose 10 pounds in the next 6 months, all right, cool. You have a goal set at the end, and from there you can either backtrack and think about all the questions that I just talked about and backtrack it, or you can start of what do you want your goal to be? So you might, write down 50 things, and from there you're going to start scraping through and you're going to identify and write down the goal. You're going to think about the benefits if you reach this goal. Next, you're going to think about the major obstacles that are going to be in your way, the hurdles that you need to overcome. Next, you need to think of the skills or knowledge necessary to take this goal to the next level, to reach that goal. Next, you need to know, who do I need to work with? Do I need help with somebody? And if you say to yourself, I don't need anybody to help me with my goals, that's BS. Truly, that is BS. I'm telling you, the people that are very dedicated in reaching their goals, small or big, they have help. And maybe you don't need to get a life coach. Maybe you don't need to get a business coach or a communications coach. But you need somebody in your life to help you along this process. Maybe ask your husband or your wife. Ask your father or your mother. Ask your best friend. Somebody to hold you accountable to get you through this process. Because I tell you what, goals are tough. They are tough. But if you have somebody helping you along the way, and if you identify the things that I just talked about, you will reach your goal. And the last thing, of course, is the completion date. You do not want to have a goal without a completion date. So that is pretty much it for the goals program, I'm going to call it. The goal, I'm selling you on goals right now, okay? And goals are super important. I have a goal by the end of April 30th, to have one speaking engagement locked in, a paid speaking engagement locked in. And that is my personal goal. And truly, it's daunting because A, I don't have a speech. B, I really don't have anything set up. I don't have any connections. I don't even know where to start. But that is my goal. I'm currently working on it. And throughout this process here in this next month, I really got to figure out a strategy to get a hold of people and perform in front of them. I want to get paid for speaking, and it's going to be tough and difficult at first, but I know I can reach it because I have a goal, identified what it is. I know the benefits of it is not only is to, get in front of other people, but to start generating revenue, which I like anybody, I think is a big problem or a big obstacle to overcome. And that's one of my obstacles is, trying to get over that mental factor of charging people for my speaking. The skills and knowledge that I need necessary to reach this goal. Well, I need to have an outline of my speech. I need to have a speech. Knowledge, I need to start researching my ideas and concepts that I have for this speech. Who do I need to work with? Well, I need to work with a lot of people. I'm part of a mastermind group. Once I finish my speech, I'm going to videotape myself. I'm going to send that speech to my mastermind group. They're going to scrape through it. They're going to give me tips and feedback and how to engage better. And they'll help me sum up my speech a lot better. And then lastly, a completion date, which I already have, April 30th. So that's my personal goal. That's a goal that I have set up in place. So I want you to take action on your goals. I want you to believe in yourself that you're capable of. Going back to the failures, the 3 failures again, the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, and the fear of success. Get over that. Write out those questions. What if I fail? Okay, so what if you do fail? What's the worst that's going to happen? How will I recover? What if I do nothing? What if I succeed? And then from there, go into get rid of your poor self-image. Believe that you can accomplish these goals and tasks. Thirdly, don't think to yourself, you do not need them. You need goals in your life. I am telling you, the richest people, the most successful people, the people that are transforming this world and giving you products that you don't think you need, but you actually buy, they have goals. Yes, they do. And to be part of that elite group of people, you need to have goals. And I'm not talking financially and starting a business. I'm talking about happiness, fulfillment, passion, caring, giving, whatever it is for you, you need to have goals set up. And lastly, you have the formula to set up a goal. Identify, write it down, the benefits if you do reach this goal, the obstacles you're going to encounter, the skills or knowledge necessary, who are you going to work with to achieve this goal? And lastly, the completion date. So that's it for now about goals. And I hope you take action. I hope you get inspired. I hope you realize that you are capable of reaching goals. And if you don't have any goals in place, start setting them up. Think to yourself, what is the goal that I want to reach? Why should I do this? Just start thinking creatively. Set yourself up for success. If you want to have better relations with your family, think to yourself, okay, my goal is every month or every week, we're going to have a game night. Okay, and set up this goal. It can be as small as that or it can be as grand as, man, I want to start investing in real estate. I don't know. You got to think to yourself. I obviously can't talk to you over the microphone, so I'm just being very broad in my goal-setting ideas. But if you have a goal that you really want to strive for, I highly suggest you put it down in the comments below at go to www.osreset.com/mygoals. And there you're going to find the show notes for this. You're going to find a little outline of how to set up goals, the key points that I just talked about. And also, too, in the comments below, if you have a goal, I want you to set it. I want you to put it down there with a date in mind. You don't have to give me the whole process. I want to hear the goal, and I want to hear the date when you're going to reach that goal, because I'm going to hold you accountable. I want you to succeed. I want you to become a better person. I want you to believe in yourself and understand that you are capable of achieving everything that you want in your life. So that is it for now. I appreciate you guys so much. This has been a quieter podcast. I'm not as amped up as I usually am, but I want to inspire you to set goals and reach them. So take care, guys. Stay tuned to another Motivational Minute next week, Monday, to get your week off on the right foot. And also, too, please head on over to osreset.com/survey to win one of the 8 gifts: a book, an Audible gift card, 2 Visa $25 gift cards, and a 15-minute Skype call with myself. It would be greatly appreciated. I need feedback to keep on improving this podcast. You guys literally rock. I appreciate you so much. Go out there and believe in yourself, that you are capable of everything you want to achieve. Take care, guys. We'll catch you next week, Monday, for a Motivational Minute. Until then, have a great week.
Thanks for listening to the Operation Self Reset podcast. Find out more ways to reset at www.osreset.com.